My boyfriend just saw his dad die in his arms. What do I do? His dad passed away due to cancer. He's gone completely non-verbal and doesn't even react to anyone's presence. I have no idea as to what to do. I don't know if he wants me to be there. I don't know if he wants me to leave him alone. Feels like whatever I do will be wrong. Edit. Thank you, everyone. I stayed up with him all night, bringing him some food and water. And a few hours ago he finally talked for the first time since his dad passed. Just a thank you after I told him I wouldn't leave him alone unless he wanted me to. I'll see what I can do to help him more. Ask his family to help out with the paperwork so he doesn't have to worry about that. Figure out what his comfort food is and make that for him. And be there all the time. I'm going to stay at his place for a few days. Or at least until he tells me to leave if he chooses to do that. To make sure he's doing as well as someone in his situation could be. X200B. Just physically be there. Don't force him to talk. Don't leave him alone unless he asks you to leave. Make sure he eats and drinks something, even if little amounts, and that he gets some sleep. And try to arrange with the family so that he doesn't have to do much paperwork or funeral preparation. He's shocked and shelled, but it won't last forever or very, very long. Just keep him alive, and if you want to make him company, read a book or do something in the same room as him but not engaging. At least your presence is there and he knows it. Did you see the movie Inside Out? There's a scene where the imaginary friend elephant just sits down next to Sadness and doesn't say or do anything. He just sits there and is sad with her. That's what you do. My dad also died in my arms from cancer. My GF at the time kept pushing me to go to parties even though I explained how I really did not want a party. She dumped me a few months later and called me a stupid child. Do the opposite of that. Bring him snacks. If he eats, great. If not, that's fine. Be near him so he can touch you with no effort. Just read a book or whatever. Let him just be. But be there. He's numb. He has no North Star. Just make sure he doesn't have to think about whatever he may need. But ask nothing of him. That's the greatest thing you can do for him. I lost my parents in 2 accidents within 2 weeks. It was hard. My wife was there, and I guess that's all you can do. Be there for him. Show him you love him. These things are far beyond us. As a human, that's all you can do. He will appreciate it. You can do no wrong. The tragedy that happened is beyond your control. Now he is concerned with his loss. And the most important thing for him is to live day by day with what no one can change. Now the most important thing is for him to see you are there and you mean the life that is still waiting for him. Make him physically safe food, water, hygiene, cuddles, bit of exercise if possible first. Then just cuddles. Opportunity to talk or not. Slowly get back normality. Guys often prefer to sit and think. Or sometimes just sit, rather than talk. It might take 10 years before he's 90 over it. I was still crying periodically 6 to 8 years after my mom died younger than she should have. This pretty much happened to me. Just don't leave because he's feeling low like my ex did. I lost both my parents when I was younger. He will remember what you did for the rest of his life. I know I did. Just be there for him. You stay by him as long as he needs. He needs to process on his own. Be there to support him. It's a hard thing to navigate, especially with witnessing death. There are not very many things that you can do wrong. What you shouldn't do is try to force the issue. That's the last thing he needs right now. If he can't speak, just leave some water and a snack nearby with some tissues and sit in the same room silently until he's ready. He can't maintain this forever. The emotions will eventually break through. When they do, you're there to help. You can't force it. Just be there. It's hard, but the best thing you can do. Give him a bit and just be present. Don't make him talk. He will when he is ready. Shock can take time. How long has it been? Give him a few days. Just be there for him in every way. We saw my wife's mom pass. It's something that sticks with you, especially when it's your parent. There is nothing else you could do but be there for him. I would suggest being there, but not being obtrusive. He's going to need his time with his thoughts to sort out his feelings, but it's probably good to have someone there too. Sometimes someone just being there and not doing or saying anything means so much. As someone who lost a parent at a relatively young age, just be there for him. Tell him that you are there for whatever he needs and ask him what he wants and then respect it. If he doesn't want to talk, just be there quietly. If he wants to be alone, then leave and let him have his alone time, etc. I found my dad dead on the couch due to cardiac arrest. Just being there is enough. A lot of times I didn't even know what to say myself. Just my girlfriend, who was also at home when I found him, being around me was enough. My dad passed 4 months ago after a brutal battle with glioblastoma stage 4. My wife has been absolutely incredible. She picks up a lot of my slack and I feel terrible watching her do it, but honestly it has given me my space to grieve and I have been coming around slowly back into my way. My dad was my best friend and it has not been easy to continue life without him. Best thing I can offer is help him with the stuff he normally does. Chores. Activities. Take part in the things he loves if he is comfortable doing them. One step at a time. This will all be gradual. Best of luck. Honestly, I just ask what he needs. If no response, really, I think giving space can be a good thing, but also checking in occasionally. When my mom died, I didn't really want company around, but when they brought food over or just help with small things, it was really sweet. Just having someone there helped get over the really hard part. Make sure he eats. The grieving will make him forget if left to his own, or will disrupt both his eating and sleeping schedules. If you want to get him involved, ask if there's a specific food he'd prefer for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I couldn't eat right after my father died. My mom and grandma bought my favorite light snacks. The stuff I can't stop myself from eating if it's around focaccia. Cured meats, and left little bite-sized morsels on the table in whichever room I was so that I might be tempted to eat them. It worked. It was the only thing that made me eat. Be there. Don't worry if he gets angry or annoyed. It's not you. It's the situation. Be strong and don't take anything personally. I say this from experience and in the nicest possible way. Do your absolute best to not somehow make out his behavior is something to do with you. Just be there. You don't have to say anything. Just be there. He'll talk soon enough. Tell him you are there for him and that you understand if he needs space. Then you give him space until he asks. There really isn't much else you can do at this point. The best thing you can do is to ask, what do you need me to do? Specifically tell him, I'm here for you. It's hard to say because we don't know him. Be there for him. Be present and available. Make sure that he eats, drinks, and showers. Continuing on with the mundane aspects of life helps people stay grounded. Don't force him to talk or process anything. He'll do that in his own time and his own pace. Also, for the love of anything you find important, do not ask him if he's okay. He is most certainly not. Same shit happened to me a couple years back. At one point, at the right time, my wife said something like, "That's how I want to go," holding my child's hand, and it meant a lot to me.